Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for tuning in once again. It's the Wealth Wednesday show where we get to invite a guest to share with us some wisdom that touches on money, business, as well as our well being when it comes to handling money. And I would like to take this opportunity to really appreciate all of you who have subscribed on our channel. If you haven't, please ensure you click the subscribe button, turn on notification so that every time we are going live like today or when we are uploading a new video, you will be notified and be the first one to watch us. As well, I would encourage you to follow us on Instagram at Financial Wellness Center, as well as like our Facebook page, Financial Wellness Center, to be updated with various tips on money and business management. And with that said, today we have an amazing guest in the house. He has appeared on local and international mainstream media, including NTV, to discuss on matters of mental health and how it affects various areas of our life. And so today we are so honored and grateful to have him with us in our studios virtually to discuss on overcoming financial stress. We can agree most of us at some point we have had stress due to money. In my financial sessions, I get people saying, "Oh, I am stressed." And sometimes when you ask the person more questions, you just find that they just have financial stress. It's nothing more than that. So, how do you get to overcome financial stress, especially in this pandemic where most of us or most people and businesses have been affected either directly or indirectly? That is the question our guest and I are going to discuss. Isaac Maweu is the founder of Greatness Assured Consultancy, as well as he is an author of In Pursuit of Your Dream. He will tell us about it towards the end. So allow me to take this opportunity to welcome you, Mr. Isaac Maweu. Thank you so much for accepting to be with us tonight. And may you introduce yourself to our audience. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shining Shayla, for
Thank you.
this opportunity to share with you and all the followers and viewers of your channel. First of all, I want to commend you for the good job that you are doing as a Financial Wellness Center, because this is a very important element in people's lives. Yeah, in terms of introduction, is Isaac Maweu, alias Isaac the Great. The Great in terms of what I do: one, being a counseling psychologist; two, being an author of a book entitled In Pursuit of Your Dreams; number three, being a life coach; number four, being a trainer. And all this is to develop the great you, the great potential that is in you, so that you can be aware of it and harness that potential to serve others. Remember, in this world, a mango tree does not eat or enjoy its own mangoes, but those people who take care of the mango tree enjoys the mangoes. So the gift, the knowledge, the power, the potential is only useful when you use it to serve others. And that's why I'm here to serve all of you watching through this channel, so that you can be better people. And it's out of that now I get value for what I do. So thank you so much, Sheila, for hosting me today.
You're very much welcome, and I agree with you. When we become valuable to others, that is when we can say we are valuable. When you create an impact in the society, directly or indirectly, then that is when we can say that, yes, I am valuable. I know what I came to do in this world. You know,
Yes.
a lot of people, you find that they have grown up but they are dead. They died
Yeah.
long time ago because they don't know what they are doing in the world. So part of knowing your purpose is being impactful to the generation. So, for the interest of time, we shall dive in right away to our audience. We understand that financial stress is one of the major killers globally. A lot of people have died because of financial stress. I have seen a lot of people who've got chronic diseases like blood pressure, ulcers, you name it, just because of financial stress. Now, we are not saying that you'll have all the money in the world, but you need to develop a mechanism that can help you know how to tackle financial stress anytime it shows up. So, Mr. Mawe, with the first question, maybe you could tell us, what is financial stress? You know, a lot of people, we know stress, but I believe you could help us understand what financial stress could mean from a psychological point of view.
Thank you, Sheila. Simply put, and in a simple way, financial stress is the pressure, the strain, the challenge, the burden to be able to be stable financially, either caused by matters that are within your power or without your power, and you are not able to meet your goals and your needs to some extent, even not being able to pay your bills, and therefore leaving you to a point of now psychological and mental stress. Remember, it started with finances not being well balanced, having challenges, poor income or low income, and now escalates to mental health challenge.
Wow, thank you so much for such a profound description. I agree with you that financial stress is when you are in lack and can lead to, mental and health challenges. I can see we have Nira 256. I think he's watching us from Uganda. Thank you so much for joining in. To all our viewers, please ensure you share this link, invite as many people as possible, and of course, share with us your questions and any feedback you might be having, so that you can take the advantage of having the psychologist in the house to help you with some issues that could be disturbing you. So, what are some of the causes of financial stress, Mr. Maweu?
Well, there are several, and one of it is loss of money. Maybe you are in a business and all of a sudden something happens, and they say shift happens, and sometimes the F is silent. And those who can fill in the word know what that means. Shift happens, but the F is silent. So all of a sudden something happens and you lose your business, goes down. Maybe you are employed and you get sacked or terminated. So you don't have income from, maybe attacked by terrorists on your business, like maybe an hotel or something, and maybe you're not assured it, or theft, or a car getting an accident. It's a matatu that you've been running and gets an accident and it gets written off, maybe because of one, two things. It's time to be your neck be different, can cause serious loss. But simply put, any alteration to our normal life and income generation becomes an issue of concern in our financial or cause of financial stress. Something else that can also happen is a change of lifestyle and change of status. Let me explain. Maybe you are living in a certain position, then all of a sudden your friends status, you want to move to the next level. Maybe you are living in a rental house of maybe 15,000. Then because of the peer pressure, you decide to move to a house rent, a house of 50,000, and you cannot manage that lifestyle. So it becomes an issue of concern. So that lack of consistency in your income, that moving on to the next question is going to be even
I
matters
believe.
of relationships. Maybe somebody's married and they were sharing their bills together as a couple. When they divorce, separate, each one of them is left to take care of his own bills. So this becomes another strain that this person was not expecting. So all these are factors and situations that can lead to financial stress. Of course, there's also habits that we develop, like impulse buying and just extreme, what do you call it? Extreme expenditure that you had not planned for. So you find yourself having maybe gotten a loan, and instead of prioritizing this to where it's supposed to be, maybe to start a business or boost your business, you start making fun of it and you spend all weekend or without all that money. That Monday, you will be stressed because all the money that you have earned, you have just taken it to the drainage. Over to you.
Thank you so much. I'm super amazed by the factors you've given us because they are the real and practical factors that have affected thousands of people out here, especially money habits and lifestyle. Those things, they are the ones, they are part of the major causes of financial stress out here. I can say in my experience of field of work, I've seen people who they take a loan. Before they take the loan, they'll give you a business plan, they'll give you a good plan. I want to take this loan, it will do A, B, C, and D. And for sure, when you look at it as an advisor or consultant, you tell the person, yes, you can go for the loan. However, immediately the money hits the bank account, it's like the person and the plan, they are totally parallel. The person now starts to tell you other reasons like, oh, I decided to tell my body sorry, pigia mwili pole in quotes. Oh, I decided to, bless myself. And this money is not their money, it's money borrowed. And when you ask the person, what happened to the plan? Then they're like, it's gonna wait. I'm gonna use some of it to do that. And before they realize it, the money borrowed is already exhausted, so they remain with a debt to pay they cannot account for, and the plan they had taken the money for did not come to materialize, so they automatically fall into financial stress. Others have seen falling into depression because if you took the loan from the bank, definitely they are going to come after you. So we'll go to the next question. What are the financial stress symptoms? As a psychologist, I believe you've dealt with a lot of patients. What are the symptoms that you can look at someone and say, this one, it's not any other kind of problem. I think this is financial stress. What are the symptoms that we can look for or look out for?
Number one, there's the aspect of lack of self-care. From the simple things like taking a shower, dressing nicely, and just the simple things that you can do. Somebody has just neglected themselves. If it's a lady, she's not aware that the hair needs to be fixed. If it's a gentleman, he cannot even fix his hair. Those simple things of self-care becomes an issue of concern. Number two, insomnia. Somebody will have no sleep because you're thinking and thinking and thinking about this money that is no longer there. Like you have said, somebody has just screwed up all the money that he had in the loan that he had taken up. So insomnia comes in. Others will have headaches. So somebody just talking about headache and ask, I don't know. But if you investigate now as a client, as a counselor, when I meet with them, he talks of, I don't, but tell me more about your life. And he realized that actually the cause of the headache is the financial stress. So headaches. Yeah. Others go to the extent of body pains. You just feel your body is weak and fatigue. Even you struggle making decision. And number 4, people will have irritability. Somebody is just
Oh.
bitter for no apparent reason. You get to matatu, these public vehicles, and somebody is just having unnecessary arguments with the tout, with other passengers, and he's so bitter very early in the morning. He's remembering the money that he has lost or she has lost. So irritability will be common. Others will start to do what we call displacement and projection. What does that mean? If maybe it's a parent and he has left issues at home, when he gets to work, he starts to displace. If it's maybe your boss, he starts to displace that to other people. So he's so bitter and fighting the juniors, no reason. If it's a teacher, he goes to school and has fights with students, and the students have nothing wrong. This person is just projecting and displacing the anger to other people. Of course, now when this persists, then it gets to more situations. Now, things like now, what you had mentioned before, like blood pressure, somebody will starting having high blood pressure. Others will start having things like what we call compensative eating. There are people, when they have stress, they eat too much just to compensate that stress. Of course, others the opposite direction, others will have no appetite. And they say, I don't feel like I have appetite to eat. So all these are symptoms of somebody who is having.
Oh no, we lost him. Isaac, are you back?
Yes, I am.
We lost you at compensative eating. Maybe you could repeat that point.
Okay. I said when people are stressed, some will overeat to compensate that stress, and others will have no appetite at all because they are saying, now, this is not helping me. Others actually have, but another point, others will start engaging in some weird behavior like over drinking. Those who have been drinking maybe just a few bottles, like 3, they take 10 because they are trying to numb the stress. They are trying to numb the bad experience that they are having. So others will get to that alcoholism. Even others get to weird and uncontrollable sexual behaviors as a way of trying to. So all these are mechanisms that people try to find to cope with the stress of financial issues.
You are right. And just to add on that, I've also seen other people resorting to drug abuse, like taking sleeping pills to sleep and forget everything, which that is drug abuse, because you're not supposed to take pills to sleep unless unless advised by a health specialist, and that is at an extreme end. But I've seen a lot of people, since they have access to over the counter sleeping pills, when they are having a financial stress, they will be buying that and relying on that every single night just to be able to forget. I call it the bury your head in the sand mentality. That's let me run my let me cover myself in this thing, in such a certain habit, assuming that the problem will go there. And that is one of the reasons most people drink. It's not that they want to drink, it's only that they don't want to face the stress or the issue at hand. So they result into such kind of habits, as well as sexual immorality. Most people who participate in such kind of things is because they are having certain types of stress, and one of them is financial stress. And with that said, maybe you could I think you've already said examples of financial stress, right?
Maybe, yeah, talk of examples of financial stress. We've talked about a bit of it, but just to add on, people are financially stressed, and maybe something like paying their bills, maybe their house rent, their gas, as a result of stress that they are going through. They will have issues with even people. It recent past, during this time of COVID, many people we have reported cases of domestic violence. Why are people fighting? Because they are challenged financially and they feel for the expenditure. I gave you maybe 5,000 shillings. How did you spend this money? And you feel that she spent it wrongly because you are already stressed financially. So any all these are indicators of examples of financial.
I'm sorry, Mr. Mawe, we are not able to hear you clearly. Maybe you could just list them because your internet was breaking. Can you hear me? Thank you so much. I believe our guest. Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Yeah, just I was saying maybe you could highlight the examples once again as we kind of lost you due to a bad connection. Maybe just highlight on them so we can move on to the next discussion point.
During this time, people have been having issues, and domestic violence has been common because of just the fact that somebody doesn't have money. They get bitter and start fighting each other. Somebody will have issues with their landlords because of inability to pay rent. Others will have constraints in taking care of themselves. For example, if they used to, even the simple things like taking breakfast, lunch, and supper, they cannot afford that. So their normal life has changed. Therefore, you will see manifestation in their body. You see manifestation and a change of behavior because they're able to support and sustain their expenditures.
Oh yeah, that is very true, especially change in behavior, lifestyle behavior. You are able to tell if someone is going through a financial stress when they you see a drastic change in how their life or lifestyle is. And this just came into my mind. Do you think because what I'm understanding from the conversation we are having, the financial stress we are talking here is much more of lack of money. How about we see the other side of more of money? Because I've met people who have a lot of money that is causing them stress. So maybe I don't know if you've had such an experience. Maybe you could tell us what could we say there are symptoms that they are having more than they can really handle.
I didn't get your question. Kindly repeat your question.
Okay, I'm saying from the discussion we are having, we have spoken much more of lack of money. However, I've come across people who have excess money, which has led to them also having financial stress. So I'm not sure if you've also experienced the same. Maybe you could highlight to us what can also be the symptoms, because I believe if we have the negative side of something, there is also an extreme side of the same.
Okay, talk about excess money. This is an interesting aspect. Research shows that people who win a lottery, this charity stuff and lottery and betting, research psychologists have done research and after a short period, they get worse than they were before. Why? Then it spoils you up. So it is very important to be able, whenever somebody gets money that was not expecting, me, a license, because of excitement. When you are excited, it's a very time to make a decision.
Yeah.
And you having a consultant in financial matters, I guess you have heard of these cases where someone gets a lot of money and all of a sudden, because of excitement, they indulge in very funny behaviors like buying splashy cars, over drinking, going to safaris, engaging as many women and other men or whatever they are doing to just eye and all these. So they end up messing themselves up. So that discipline can only be achieved when somebody is sober. And of course, that's why you need a professional like me just to help you to calm down and just know that at the end of the day, there is no much money, even if it's how much. You are not expecting maybe 10 million and it comes to your pocket. That's not much. You just need a profession to guide you and realize that I just need to organize myself and look for a long-term investment, some plan, have some discipline, make sober decisions.
That is very true, especially people who win lottery, gambling, and all those. Personally, I don't recommend anyone to participate in any of those because it's very true. Those people, within a short time, they go back to even worse than the way they were before getting the money. As well as I've seen very young people getting more than they can handle, which ends up ruining them when they do not have proper guidance and someone to guide them. So again, if you have more money than what you can handle, that is why I always say work on developing your mind, because it's the mindset before the assets. If your mind is not grown to handle the capacity of money, then if that money comes your way, it will destroy you for sure. 100% you'll be destroyed by it. So we'll go to the other point, which is actually the backbone or the foundation of today's live session. How can we overcome financial stress? We all want to know how we can overcome, because we cannot say financial stress will not come our way. It will come one way at some point. You don't plan that you will lose your job. You don't plan that you'll become sick and have extra medical bill and all those calamities. We don't plan much for them. But when they happen, how can I or someone else out there overcome such kind of stress?
All right. To come out of that mess, one of my friends told me this, that when you get...
Oh no, we have lost him. Let me add him back.
digging, the most important thing when you find yourself in a pit, stop.
Sorry? Isaac, can you hear
And
me?
ask yourself, how do I get it? There's
I think we
maybe
have
there's problem
lost
from your
you.
end. Your internet is. I'm very much available.
Okay, okay. Let me check. All right, just repeat on that point. I believe there's a problem ongoing. Just let's hope now it will work.
All right. So I was saying, when you find
Mm,
yourself in a pit, the most
mm-hmm,
important thing to do is to stop digging.
mm,
Talking about finances now, when you find yourself in a crisis, the best thing is to
mm-hmm,
ask, how do I stop going deeper to
mm-hmm,
crisis?
mm,
And maybe, for example, you are living in driving a very poachy car. The best thing
mm-hmm,
that you can do is park that car and stop that expenditure on fuel.
mm,
Get a Uber, get a public transport vehicle, and it's okay to go there.
mm, mm,
Secondly, seek for help. Ask
mm,
experts like me and Shayla here. How do I
mm,
come out of it? It is
mm-hmm,
worth spending maybe 5,000 shillings to seek for help than
mm-hmm.
getting into a worse situation, say that I can't
Yeah.
go and pay a consultant or a psychologist to help me. You're going to
Mm,
get serious and you're going to suffer
mm,
and get medical bills that will cost you more.
yeah.
I've, I've had clients who, because of financial
Mm-hmm,
stress, end up
mm-hmm,
drinking themselves silly. And out of
yeah.
that, they fall down, they get injuries, they're admitted in hospital,
Mm,
and they
mm,
spend a lot of money taking care of
mm,
now their health, which
mm,
should not have been spent if only they would have been sober enough and sought help for the financial stress. Now
yeah.
that will not, which will have been exaggerated and worsened by the hospital bills and the
Mm,
fact that this person is not productive.
yeah.
So seek for help. And number four,
Mm-hmm,
number four, three, change your
mm-hmm,
lifestyle. It is
yeah.
okay if you are living in maybe a house or worth maybe of 15,000. It is okay to just go to 5,000. It's okay,
Yeah.
and you'll be able to bounce back and
Mm,
start again. Oh, it's
yeah.
not lost. When
Mm,
you have the brain in sober and your ideas and you still have the ideas and skills that you used to get the money, you can be able to bounce back. So
mm.
those are key elements to consider and work on.
Yeah, that is very true, especially changing your lifestyle when need be, then do
Mm.
it confidently. You owe no one an explanation, but
Yeah.
you owe yourself an explanation to your mental health as well as
Mm.
your well-being. You don't need
Mm.
to suffer so much just to put a front out there, while inside you are struggling, you are dying on the inside. People usually say, you'll try so much to put a certain image out there, but when you are dying in that house alone with debt and stress, no one will come to you. Then when you die, they will come to your funeral to say how you could have or how you could have just downgraded your lifestyle. So I'd also like to just highlight that it's also very important for you to accept the situation. If you find yourself in such a situation whereby you are having a financial stress or something that has led to that, you don't need to bury your head in the sand. It's good that you accept the situation as it has happened and focus on seeking help. Seeking help is something that it's not most people in our culture have not yet embraced it, but it's very important to learn to seek help. Seek help where need be. Just as our guest has said, it's better you spend $50 with a consultant to help you overcome or not get into the extreme levels of financial stress than assuming you know it all, then end up spending more than $50 just to treat your health, just to maintain to get back your health. So it's very important to seek for help. If you feel that, I feel like I've made a lot of financial mistakes, don't keep quiet. One thing that leads to depression or contributes to depression largely is silence. Anytime you find yourself in a problem that that leads you to be silent, you're silent, you don't want to talk about it, you don't want to seek for help, you don't want to share with anyone, then chances are high that problem is going to lead you into depression, and you don't want to lose you because of depression. So learn to speak up. It's okay to seek for help. It's okay to say that I've done this mistake. I don't know how to get out, and for sure there will always be someone out there that can help you. I believe we've just lost our guest due to connection issues. I'm just hoping he will be coming back to us shortly. He'll be able to join us. So, as I was just highlighting, we are discussing on matters of overcoming financial stress, and one thing that our guest has really highlighted is the fact that let us learn to be aware of our expenses. If you feel or if you see that you are getting to have a problem with your money, or your money is about to you're facing issues with your money, then it's important for you to check on your expenditure and see what you can reduce on. I believe our guest is now back with us. Thank you so much, Mr. Maweu, for joining us back. We are about to come to an end of this session. To our audience, if you have any question or if you have any feedback that you'd like to share with us, feel free to write in the chat box or the comment section, and we'll be more than happy to address it. So, Mr. Maweu, the next question is, what's the correlation between financial stress and mental health?
Well, there's a great correlation. Financial stress will lead to mental health challenges, because our body is holistic. Our body is just one and common thing. When you're financially having issues, and like we raised before, it now escalate to body issues. For example, you'll have issues of insomnia.
Yeah.
And when you lack sleep and you are not taking care of yourself, for example, proper diet, then your immune system becomes weak. And if your body system and immune system becomes weak, now your body becomes weak, and now you end up having issues. And now you move from having stress to depression. Remember, depression is more severe, is an issue, is something that escalates from stress. Maybe you have insomnia, lack of appetite, irritability, suicidal thoughts, lack of self-worth, sadness, crying, and all that persists for 14 days, then you qualify to be depressed. And of course, now the worst part of it is now to get to levels of suicide or homicidal cases. And these are some people becoming schizophrenic, having some behaviors that are not normal. So they are correlated. So you start with financial stress that now moves to psychological and mental stress.
Wow. I actually didn't know that when you have those symptoms for more than 14 days, then you qualify to be referred to as a depressed person. I think now it's very important for us to check on our well-being. If you find yourself sad, honestly, I'm not sure, but I don't think I've ever been sad for 14 days. That is too it is too long. Like, but if you find yourself that you are constantly sad, because yes, I've seen a lot of people who are sad, even as someone, it's a beautiful day, why are you just angry? And they're like, it's me. And some now end up saying that they are just like that. I want to believe that God did not create an angry human being. Mm-mm. So if you are sad for more than 14 days, it's time to check on Isaac. You might be depressed. I
Yes. Yes.
really like that point. So we'll go to our last point, which is something that a lot of people want to talk about when it comes to matters of relationship and
Mm-hmm.
love and financial stress. Oh God. I think for the last 5 years, that has been a booming topic or industry. We've seen a lot
Yes.
of media platforms, they just have to come with anything to do with love or relationship just to, get people. So how does the one deal with financial stress in a romantic relationship or marriage?
Well, that is a very important topic when it comes to relationships. And
Mm-hmm.
the most important aspect is to define your goals and have boundaries. When you're getting into a relationship, is it
Mm-hmm.
driven by
Mm-hmm.
finances?
Mm.
In Swahili, especially here in Kenya, I know we have people from Uganda and other parts of the world.
Yeah,
In
yeah.
Swahili, I've been saying that hakuna mapenzi bila pesa. That is
No
no,
money, no love.
yes, no. But honestly speaking, if that
Mm,
is the objective that is driving you to the relationship, when money
mm-mm.
is not, then the relationship dies.
Yes.
Therefore, when you are talking about relationships, whether it's just romantic relationship or you have gotten to the level of marriage, it's always good to
Mm-hmm.
define your objectives. That this is why we
Mm,
are coming together to support each other
mm,
emotionally, first of all.
mm.
Emotionally, first of all. Maybe
Yes.
then socially, and then
Mm,
now financially. But if finances become fast, then when you have
mm-hmm.
financial crisis, then
Mm-hmm.
you will separate and start
Yeah.
fighting each other. We've seen couples when they separate or go a divorce,
Mm-hmm.
they spend a lot of money in courts trying to
Mm,
settle matters. And we've seen all this without mentioning names. They spend a lot of money in
yeah.
courts struggling
Mm,
to sort out these cases. But if they would
mm,
sit down and ask themselves, what is more important? The fact that we are
mm,
relatives or the fact that we
mm,
are shareholders in a business? Because
mm-hmm.
uh, for the few years or many years that I've lived, I've never
Mm-hmm.
heard of someone dying and when they are giving their, they call it what? Is it the eulogy? You've never
Yeah.
had man has left this number of millions or these cars or these plots behind. They have left this behind. No, they may talk of children, wife, and the rest.
Mm,
Let's
mm.
have priorities on what matters most in our
Yes.
relationships.
Mm,
If, example, if it's your boyfriend,
mm-hmm.
Shayla, don't
Mm-hmm.
push him because he has not taken you out over the weekend. And you say, enough money. It is still okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So accommodate each other in the midst of the
Mm-hmm.
challenges.
Mm,
Then something else very important when it comes to relationships and money, it's good to be transparent. Don't
mm,
pretend that you earn maybe 150,000 a month when you only earn
mm-hmm.
50,000, because somebody will
Yeah.
be expecting a lot from you, yet you don't. You're not worth that much.
Mm.
Others will also want to live a higher lifestyle. Instead of
Mm.
going to a restaurant, for example, like Highlands in towns, they want
Mm.
to go to Kempinski to surprise their colleagues, and they cannot afford that. So you don't have to spend a lot of money to win a friend or a relationship. Just spend
Mm.
what you can. Financial
Mm-hmm.
discipline is very important when it comes to relationships. So
Yeah.
that definition of what you want and how you can together discuss these things becomes an important issue. It's also good
Mm-hmm.
to talk about issues of saving as a couple. Like you had
Mm-hmm.
this a project that you want to run together and say, we want to
Yeah.
buy such a plot. Let's save
Mm.
together. You're going to be doing
Mm.
maybe house duties and meet the bills in the house. My
Mm.
money will go to this project, kind of a thing. So discuss and agree on how
Mm.
you're going to spend your money and plan together. That becomes very important.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Especially when it comes to financial honesty in a marriage is very, very crucial. Because I've counseled quite a number of couples, married people, who you find that one person approaches you and they tell you they have a problem, and you find out it's financial stress. But when you ask further, you find that even he or she has not shared that with the spouse.
Mhm.
So the picture you get is that the person will just be coming home, I have a headache, I have a headache, and they don't really tell you what's happening. Chances are high, maybe they invested some money and lost all of it, but they don't want
Mm.
to say. That clearly tells you there's lack of financial honesty
Mm.
in that marriage, which for sure I've seen it leading to some very bad consequences here and there. So I believe honesty when it comes to finances is very important, as well as defining the goal of the relationship from the start. Because again, we have a very interesting group of people in our current generation who are led by money more than knowing the other person. I believe they're the ones who what do we say, they eat fare or transports when they are sent money to appear anywhere. So that tells you that the person has more underlying problems than just the action they presented to us of uh, not adhering to their promise. So, with that said, to our audience, if you have any question, feel free to ask. Isaac will be sharing with us his contact details and more information on how you can reach out to him in case you feel that you need more guidance and the services of a psychologist, especially when it comes to managing stress. As we said throughout this conversation, stress is the number one killer currently, especially with this pandemic. A lot of people they've had suicidal thoughts and all that just because of stress. So if you feel depressed, remember he said the threshold of you qualifying to be depressed, one of them is being angry, irritable, sad for over 14 days. Then you need to see him or consult him. So, Mr. Mawawi, you could just share with us about your contact details and what we need to know to reach out to you. Hello, can you hear me? I believe again we have lost him. But as I said, it's very important
I've
for
lost.
you. Okay. Yeah, just your final touch or your conclusion. We have lost him once again, but as we said throughout the conversation, it's very important for you to take care of your mental well-being as well as your financial health. Most of the causes of depression, anxiety, blood pressure, they are mostly as a result of financial stress. So if you get to learn how you can overcome financial stress, it will help you become a better person. So if you are watching us, or if you'll watch us later on, please, if you have any question, if you have any problem that you feel it's going to lead you into financial stress, feel free to reach out. You can write us a comment and maybe advise us on how we can get back to you, as well as our guests, Mr. Isaac will just be sharing with us his contact details, so that if you need any services of a psychologist, you can always reach out to him. So, Mr. Mawai, just give us your conclusion as we wind up the program tonight.
All right. Simply put, all of
Mm-hmm.
us have challenges, all of
Mm,
us have stress, but we need to
mm,
learn how to manage with it, whether it's
yeah.
financial, whether it's relationship or anything. All of us
Mm,
have stress, but there's help,
mm,
especially if you seek it from a professional like me. If you want to get in
yeah.
touch with me, wherever you are, you can use social media platforms like Facebook, where Twitter and Instagram, where I use my name, Isaac Mawel. You can also check my channel, Greatness
Mm,
Assured Show. Greatness Assured Show is my channel on YouTube. You can get a lot of insights there. If you are out there outside the country or wherever that you are and you want to get in touch with me, you can WhatsApp me through +254 700060859 +254
mhm.
700060859. Let's help each other to become better people. Thank you.
Thank you so much, of course, to anyone that wants to reach out to him, as well as if you want to buy his book, In Pursuit of Your Dreams, you can always contact him via social media or WhatsApp to the number provided. So until then, thank you so much for staying with us. We really appreciate your
Thank you,
time
Sheila.
and your patience. We'll see you once again in our next live video. Bye and take care.